welcome to another video. So in this video I wanted to touch upon how I got a 60 kilo pull up and a 90 kilo dip. And for the last 10 weeks I've been following Micha Schulz's 10-week King of Weighted strength training program. The idea of this is to boost your 1 rep maxes across the following lifts: weighted bar muscle up, weighted pull up, weighted dip, and it even covers the squat and the deadlift. Now, as a quick disclaimer, I didn't train the squat and the deadlift style of this, but I do train legs, so don't hate me just yet. I spent a lot of the time outdoors training the more unilateral and body weight moves like your Nordic curl, weighted pistol, and even working on my mobility all round, which obviously is like middle splits, front split pulses, and things of the like. So rest assured, my little sticks down there have been getting some love and my wheels have not been left to go flat. My tyres are still pumped up, I can assure you. And as a side note, historically, I've never been a big fan of squatting and deadlifting all the time, as well as trying to push the realms in weighted calisthenics, just because the two tend to compete with each other a lot in my experience, and I do find my recovery suffers. So that's just a quick disclaimer, but I followed the program to a letter in terms of upper body. Literally every single routine was left no stone unturned, exactly as it should have been done. Just a quick note on Micha Schulz. So if you haven't checked him out, go and check out his channel, Micha Schulz, on YouTube, and on Instagram it's Micha BLN, at Micha BLN. He is a German street workout champion. The guy has got like a 125 kilo dip. He could do front lever rows through full range, and he's still working on some other skills as well. So he's very much a student as much as a coach and an athlete, which is what I like about him. And his content isn't just look what I can do, it's also here's the processes I use to get where I am, which obviously shows you that he's very much a student as well. And we all like people that are forever learning and on the journey with all of us. So go and check out his stuff. It's really been good, and his programs are good. So this program, I was supposed to also test my bar muscle up and my ring muscle up, but because the gyms are closed in the UK at the moment thanks to another lockdown, although people don't really seem to be caring as much this time, but that's a whole nother topic, it's meant that I've not been able to test the muscle ups as I would have liked, because the conditions would have been different. I could go to a park and drag a load of plates over and test them, but then I'm hanging rings on a different tree, different circumstances. It's not going to be the same reflection had the gyms have stayed open a little bit longer and I could have got my test numbers done. But rest assured, I was gunning for a 20 kilo bar muscle up and a 30 plus kilo ring muscle up. My previous bests were a sloppy 17.5 kilo bar muscle up and a pretty damn clean, which is on my Instagram, 28 kilo ring muscle up. So rest assured, I reckon I was in the same sort of ballpark. The program didn't actually have me doing ring muscle ups. I added that in as well because I thought, well, why not try and boost the both of them? And it had been a while since I'd trained the ring muscle up. So with that said, let's just talk about the general experience of the program. The program is a peaking program. So it's a 10-week ramp up, which starts in a classic powerlifting style where the volume starts high and the intensity starts low, and then as the program progresses they inversely cross over, so the volume drops as the intensity climbs. Right at the midpoint there was a nice deload week which deloaded the volume and the intensity, which served as a nice break for me, and there was an awful lot of training sub-maximal. So I ran Micha's hypertrophy and skills program last year, and the biggest error I made with that led to me spinning my wheels was the fact that I paid no attention to his clear instructions on reps in reserve, which just means leaving reps in the tank. So obviously, being wise and battle hardened now, I came through it this time looking for being able to hit the reps in reserve every time and always leave the right reps in the tank. So it took more of a cyclical approach rather than just going in every day and battering yourself and hoping to be get a linear result, which is never going to happen. It's always going to be somewhat, staggered. So with that said, the program worked incredibly well. The 60 kilo pull-up was hit slightly before ahead of schedule, and so was the dip. So the dip was also hit ahead of schedule. Both of them were supposed to be done a little bit later, but because the gyms were closing, I had the pressure on. I knew I had a few days, so I was like gun to the head, forced into a corner. I thought, well, it's now or never. And what I did is I pulled the trigger on both days and tried to get them done. And I managed to hit the baseline number that I wanted to. I'm not making excuses, but I will say I wasn't that fresh when it came to it. So I could have been fresher. I reckon there might have been a little bit more in there. Not much. I think maybe 62.5, 65 real push on a phenomenal day on the pull-up, and maybe 95 on the dip. I would love to say I could get 100. I don't know. I wanted to try that. That was the plan, was to try and take the 4 plates or the 5 plates, whichever way you want to do it, for a spin, and see if I could grind that out even if like my life depended on it, but I haven't been able to do that yet. Probably for the best, where I'm not going to do that outside in a park, obviously. So yeah, basically Micha Schulz's program, really good, really enjoyable, quite advanced. Doesn't matter what level you're at, even if you start in at a low weighted level, you can still run his programs because the programming works for everybody. And it put basically at least 10 kilos or more on all of my lifts. I think it put over 20 since I last checked my weighted pull. Hard to tell what a true max is, obviously, but nevertheless, so much progress made from that. But going forwards, obviously now that we don't have access to gyms as easily, it's a perfect time to get more down the skills route again. So I'm going to start trying to retrain the front lever, the back lever, the one arm pulling, handstand pushing, handstanding, all the kind of non-weighted skills that require more range of motion, more stability, more coordination, the elements, if you can call them that, as opposed to the weighted. So in other words, I'm putting the newfound strength I've built to use in a new phase. So that's the plan. So in summary, 60 kilo pull up, 90 kilo dip, 10 weeks, peaking cycle. Micha Schulz's programs, I recommend them. If you're an intermediate athlete and you're looking to get more strength in those moves, definitely check them out. Be warned, they're quite high volume, particularly his hypertrophy program. That's really high volume, whereas the strength program isn't so bad. I found that manageable, but then it was only probably because I had the experience with the previous program. I'm going to be doing a lot more experiments with programs, but I'm not going to give the game away yet. I'm going to be reviewing more programs on this channel as things move forward, so stay tuned for that. If you like the video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share the content if you feel it will help anybody, and stay tuned for more to come. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.